Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at lead singers in rock bands with the most vocal talent, stage presence, and overall showmanship. We're not considering solo acts or front women, as they deserve their own lists. Number 30, Joey Ramone, The Ramones. Jeffrey Hyman was a trailblazer of punk rock under the Faux Family stage name Joey Ramone. He only provided vocals in the Ramones, but with an upbeat intensity to make their irreverent lyrics come alive. His anthemic voice is unmistakable. So were the long hair, leather jacket, and sunglasses that turned an otherwise casual look into a new standard for cool. And Ramone had the onstage attitude to back it up, weaving around his bandmates with only a mic and pure swagger. Everything about him epitomized a natural rock star with no pretenses. Years after his untimely passing in 2001, Joey Ramone continues to influence punk's iconoclastic art and the image to draw attention to it.
Hey, ho, let's go! Hey, ho, let's go!
Number 29, Ronnie James Dio, Elf, Rainbow, Dio, etc. Many bands' identities have been set by Ronnie James Dio. He first broke out with Elf, whose hard blues rock was distinguished by the singer's opera-tinged wailing. Deep Purple guitarist Ritchie Blackmore widened that following with Rainbow, before Dio replaced Ozzy Osbourne in Black Sabbath. Finally, the group simply known as Dio cemented him as an independent force of nature. Dio's influence was key to the development of the heavy metal vocal style. He also popularized the devil horns hand gesture. He didn't need to ham up live performances to command audiences with his epic voice and visible emotion. This made Dio one of metal's most sought-after vocalists in his lifetime, with a legacy as one of the genre's defining icons. Number 28, Johnny Rotten Lydon, Sex Pistols and Public Image Limited. As one of mainstream punk's rowdiest acts, the Sex Pistols were as wild in their public image as they were in their music. At the front of the chaos was the spiky-haired Johnny Rotten's unhinged vocals and energetic command of the stage. At least this distinct edge remained when he tamed it and returned to his legal name to lead Public Image Limited. It was a more mainstream sound than Pistols, and yet it can be argued that the post-punk leader's genre experimentation and brash content are sometimes more maverick. John Lydon himself describes Pill as anti-rock, testing musical boundaries with that same intense charisma. No matter Lydon's changes in name, style, and even politics, he's never truly lost that rowdy reputation. Number 27, Anthony Kiedis, Red Hot Chili Peppers. High energy and versatility made the Red Hot Chili Peppers one of alternative rock's hottest acts. With rap, funk, metal, and more, Anthony Kiedis has an astounding vocal range. And he translates that to live performances from kicking antics to seductive crooning, all while gripping the mic in a signature way. It's only a matter of time before the showman throws off his shirt, if not more. Hey, he does have to keep up with bassist Flea on the stage. Still, Kiedis brings a commanding swagger to the Chili Peppers' staggering concerts. Even as he's matured past scandal and substance use over the years, his vocal and physical prowess never fails to captivate the audience. Number 26, Thom Yorke, Radiohead and The Smile. With all of Radiohead's innovative genre bending, Thom Yorke is a spectacle just by himself. The multi-instrumentalist is crucial to the band's elaborate sound and striking, often politically charged lyrics. None of it is too big for Yorke's deeply soulful vocal style. And and none of that can prepare listeners for the ethereal stance or erratic energy he brings to concerts. His iconic neck flailing does seem to put the head in Radiohead. With the rest of the band focusing more on technical craft, the renowned alt-rockers are a truly complete live music experience. Yorke's thrilling work with the Smile and as a solo artist confirms that he doesn't just contribute a leading energy to Radiohead's genius. Number 25. Joe Strummer, The Clash and the Mescaleros. While London's punk scene was being overrun with anarchists and fascists in the 70s, Joe Strummer was an important voice at the center of The Clash.
London calling, now don't look to us. Phony Beatlemania is bitten the dust.
The band rose to international prominence on left-wing lyrics and the frontman's fiery vocals, with shades of new wave and reggae. Such experiments laid the groundwork for post-punk, but Strummer was more politically direct in his intensity than many contemporaries. He truly had something to say, as his towering stage presence was stirring audiences into a grooving frenzy. This style continued into his follow-up group, the Mescaleros, until his death in 2002. It was an untimely end, but Strummer's stardom as a social and artistic revolutionary will never fade. Number 24. Paul Stanley, Kiss. Kiss was basically a whole band of frontmen. Each member can sing and deliver eclectic live performances, with Paul Stanley as their undeniable leader. His passionate vocals are enough of a thrill. In concert with Kiss, he stood firm in his gaudy black outfits and white makeup, usually without a shirt. And, as perfectly as the bandmates coordinated, his charisma and crowd work stood out. Although Kiss disbanded in 2023, Stanley has never shed his presence with the Starchild alter ego. The accomplished solo artist is even showing off his musical range with Paul Stanley's Soul Station. His breakout band may resolutely be one of the great acts of hard rock, but they just barely represented Stanley's dynamism. Number 23. Jon Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi. A group of rock virtuosos from working-class New Jersey had a true star for their namesake. The handsome Jon Bon Jovi, going by Jon Bon Jovi, boosted the glam metal scene with a youthfully intense voice and look. His mix of bluesy storytelling and rebellious energy fired up a generation of listeners. His live persona stares them down with frantic physicality. The band Bon Jovi has always been a leader in arena rock, with the scope and showmanship to command the largest venues. All of that has held up through all the years and expansion of stylistic range. The frontman Bon Jovi still rocks faces by the millions as the embodiment of his era and genre. Number 22. David Byrne, Talking Heads. David Byrne all but reinvented the idea of a rock star with the new wave titans Talking Heads. Everything about his artistry and appearance has a certain eccentricity that forgoes pop cliches for genuine personality. He simply knows how to write great music with a message and deliver it with infectious vocals. Never mind Talking Heads' live performances, noted for elaborate production values as an extension of the band's charming personas and satirical songwriting. Byrne's iconic contrast between stoic expression and boisterous dancing rounds out the ingeniously bizarre experience. It makes sense that Stop Making Sense is regarded as one of the greatest concert films of all time. Byrne alone is hailed as a one-of-a-kind artist and entertainer.
Facts are simple and facts are straight, facts are legit and facts are lit. Facts are from my point of view, facts don't do what I want them to.
Number 21. James Hetfield, Metallica. As one of the founders of thrash, Metallica took heavy metal to a new level of intensity on James Hetfield's explosive musicianship.
Say your prayers and so on. Don't forget my son to include everyone.
The virtuoso rhythm guitarist and guttural vocalist defines the heavy yet sophisticated sound that metalheads everywhere know right away.
I cannot live, I cannot die. Dressing myself, burning my own.
just as iconic as Hetfield's assertive wide stance and all-around larger-than-life presence on the stage. Still, he knows how to get down with the people. The pyrotechnics of one of the biggest live acts in an industry barely measure up to the physical stride of the band. That intensity has never wavered in 4 decades of personal and creative trials for the magnetic Hetfield. If Metallica is an institution, he is the worthy face. Number 20. Bon Scott, AC/DC. Scottish-born Australian singer Bon Scott was the secret ingredient that turned AC/DC into an international brand.
No stop signs, speed limit. Nobody's gonna slow me down.
His stellar shrieks were radical for 70s rock voices. Additionally, he helped put a harder edge to a decade known for softer music.
She wanted it hard, wanted it fast. She liked it done medium rare.
Scott's vocal abilities and Angus Young's power chords became a match made in rock heaven. Without the singer's effortless contributions, there would be no Highway to Hell. The vocalist tragically died before he could show the world more of the depths of his immense talents. While AC/DC continued without the performer, his lasting impact on the group was never forgotten.
Seems like attack's too much.
Number 19. Bono, U2. By the end of the 1980s, U2 became one of the biggest bands and live acts in rock history. Their one and only lead singer Bono was an undeniably charismatic and singular presence. He constantly used the height of his celebrity to promote charitable causes and share his beliefs. While some love to hate on the vocalist, his lyrical content stood above his contemporaries. Many failed to credit the performer for his influence on pop rock in general.
One life, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other.
If you wrote him off as just a pretentious guy with sunglasses, listen to his contributions on albums like The Joshua Tree. Bono succeeded in being both a great frontman and a pretty good role model. Number 18. Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder brought a unique lyrical ability and strong personality to the stage.
Rest his head on a pillow made of concrete. Again.
His role in Pearl Jam made him a cult figure for the grunge movement. Led by his deep voice, the group's debut album 10 became an unforgettable 90s rock experience. The singer's stage antics like climbing the light rigging and stage diving helped endear him to fans. Over the decades, the alternative rock group toured the world with a devoted following.
Jeremy spoke and yesterday.
Vedder penned lyrics about real-world issues and wore his heart on his flannel sleeve. His continued appreciation of the Pearl Jam fanbase contributed to his status as a rock and roll Hall of Fame frontman.
Everyone's crying. The full moon is looking for friends at high tide.
Number 17. Gerard Way, My Chemical Romance. Gerard Way co-created My Chemical Romance after being deeply affected by the attacks on September 11th.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city.
While the songs he performed helped him work through his personal demons, they became relatable to the legions of fans that supported the group. Way's contributions to the sounds of emo and alternative rock changed the game for artists in the 2000s.
What's the worst thing I can say? Since I've
Behind the eyeliner, the frontman was much more than a stereotypical goth performer. The singer's personal and emotional writing led to several modern classics such as The Black Parade. There were few figures in the same decade that were as uniquely visionary as him. Number 16, Rob Halford, Judas Priest. There's a reason that Rob Halford and his band Judas Priest are referred to as metal gods. Although he got into heavy metal and hard rock, his superior vocal range could have helped him have a successful opera career. Fortunately for his fans, Halford helped bolster the British wing of the metal craze in the late 70s and 80s. He and the band provided a hardcore soundtrack to activities like motorcycle riding. Along the way, the vocalist broke down barriers when he came out as gay in a subgenre that didn't have much LGBTQ+ representation at the time. Halford's authenticity and dedication to his craft built up Judas Priest as a force of nature in the rock world.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law.
Number 15, Chester Bennington, Linkin Park. Serving as Linkin Park's lead vocalist and its heart, Chester Bennington definitely deserved all the praise he got over the years.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
He and Mike Shinoda crafted a mix of lyrics and rap verses that stood out from other rap rock acts. The group survived the 2000s with the drive to delve into painful themes in their music. Even as their songs took on a different flavor, he never undersold a vocal part.
I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go.
He's one of the few singers that truly left everything on the table with each performance. Unfortunately, the artist died in 2017 after struggling with depression.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there.
His meaningful additions to Linkin Park's catalog created a sincere connection with fans all over the world.
And I know I may end up failing too.
Number 14, Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. As Iron Maiden prepared to send heavy metal for a loop in the 80s, Bruce Dickinson was brought on as the lead singer.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. You fire musket, but I'll run you through.
It soon became clear that he had joined the band for their most influential period. Dickinson's mesmerizing vocals first appeared on the Number of the Beast album. There were few voices that could deliver singles like Run to the Hills with such gusto. Although Dickinson stepped away from the band for a time, he returned to continue making hits and delivering strong performances. His pristine voice built him up as a major figure for more progressive hard rock. Dickinson's work with Iron Maiden ensured their magical melodies were a part of a stellar decade of metal. Number 13, Chris Cornell, Soundgarden and Audioslave. Chris Cornell had a special talent that gave 90s rock a huge boost. While the grunge genre was full of amazingly talented singers, few could compete with this singer's serene vocal stylings.
Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain.
The artist guided Soundgarden through alternative and hard rock influences. He hit amazing notes and played the guitar in the same breath.
I'm gonna break my rusty cage.
When the performer went on to provide his talents to the underrated Audioslave, he gained even more fans. In any group, Cornell shook stadiums with his deep and complex songs. All All of his musical ventures felt authentic because he brought his own perspective and outlook on life to every note. His introspective personality blossomed on stage as he roared like few frontmen could. Number 12, David Lee Roth, Van Halen. David Lee Roth energized Van Halen in the 70s and 80s with his showmanship.
I get up, and nothing gets me down.
Among the hardest working entertainers in rock music, Roth was an acrobatic stage presence.
Might as well jump, jump. Might as well jump.
The singer and guitarist Eddie Van Halen teamed up to produce one of the most celebrated live acts of their era.
Jumping, what's that sound? Here she comes, full blast and top down.
Every moment he spent on stage was in full dedication to the audience. While he wasn't considered a traditional singer, he made up for it with his status as a brilliant ringleader. His unique take on songs from Panama to Jump brought millions of fans to their feet.
Ain't no stopping now. Panama.
Number 11, Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl emerged from the end of Nirvana with his own music project.
Hello, I've waited here for you.
While he might have been a shy drummer in his old band, Foo Fighters allowed him to break out of his shell. This time, he decided to try his hand at being the singer.
Everything could ever be this way forever.
What started as an experiment became one of the most successful rock acts of the 21st century.
You gave me something that I didn't have, but had no use.
During a period dominated by pop and hip-hop artists, Grohl showed everyone how powerful and relevant the genre could be.
What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one of your plays?
The singer's signature scream and good-hearted nature made him one of the most likable frontmen in recent memory.
Someone get in a bed, to you.
Number 10, Jim Morrison, The Doors. Jim Morrison was one of the most enigmatic figures in rock and roll.
You know that it would be untrue. Know that I would be a liar.
After graduating from UCLA with a film degree, he gravitated towards artists like Ray Manzarek and co-founded The Doors.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, now touch me, babe. Can't you see that I am not afraid?
Morrison's poetic words helped give their music huge play in the counterculture scene. There were not many artists who could have delivered a song like The End with such conviction.
This is the end, my only friend.
Sadly, the performer was taken from the world at the age of 27. He left behind a short but undeniable career of lyrical excellence.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Morrison's deep voice cut across the late 60s in hits that captured a changing social landscape.
Tried to run, tried to hide, bring on dear to the other side.
Number 9, Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. Kurt Cobain held court as the unlikely king of grunge music.
Load up on guns, bring your friends, fun to lose and to pretend.
While he wasn't a huge fan of the amount of fame his talent brought, he still led his biggest fans through the 1990s with his vocals. Cobain's deeply personal and transgressive songwriting blew a hole through the status quo.
Hey, wait, I got a real complaint.
By combining a variety of rock subgenres, he became one of the most successful acts of the decade.
Well, the lights out, it's the dangerous. Here we are now, entertainers.
The singer's honesty and no-frills attitude only increased his reputation as a frontman for Nirvana. Unfortunately, his career was cut short at the age of 27. But Cobain is still part of an elite group of artists that achieved so much in such a short time.
The face to face of the man who saw the world.
Number 8. Iggy Pop, The Stooges. Iggy Pop and the Stooges laid the template for American punk rock music. His onstage persona tore to shreds any notion of decorum.
I'm so messed up, I want you here.
He also made it cool to take your shirt off during a performance. Fortunately, the singer would go much further than removing his top over the course of his career. Pop and his bandmates recorded 3 highly influential albums before a multi-decade hiatus. He embarked on a diverse solo career before reuniting with his old group in the 2000s. Thanks to his unpredictable stage presence, any act he was a part of could get pretty wild. Sometimes underrated and overlooked, Pop and his band were finally recognized by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. Number 7. Roger Daltrey, The Who. Roger Daltrey sang for one of the heaviest acts of the British invasion. Before terms like metal were mainstream, The Who was considered among the loudest rock bands. Daltrey was one of the first frontmen who wasn't limited by just a microphone. He usually appeared on stage while swinging the device around like a champion. Not only was he a great performer, his singing abilities were seriously tested with complicated rock operas like Tommy. The vocalist belted out anthemic numbers with the best of them. He and the group represented the fury and artistry lurking in harder-edged music. Much of the singer and the act's creativity was ahead of its time in performance, ambition, and stage destruction.
It's a Lee Western.
Number 6. Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses. As the fearless leader of Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose moved the goalposts for frontmen in hard rock. Rose and his partying bandmates provided an antidote to the typical hair metal of the late 80s. Without his lyrics, classics like the edgy anthem Welcome to the Jungle would never have come together.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want. How do we know the name?
Appetite for Destruction and both Use Your Illusion records showcased his musical scope and ambition.
Sometimes I need some time all alone.
The group's original lineup dissolved after egos and uncompromising visions changed the band's trajectory.
The jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Won't you bring it to your knees?
Despite his sometimes testy reputation, the singer's perseverance and leadership helped make GNR a household name.
Where do we go now? Where do we go?
Number 5. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith. Steven Tyler commanded a microphone stand like nobody else. His scarves and costumes were as famous as his raspy vocals.
Talk about things that nobody cares.
Here's what I'm wearing, Roy.
Wearing out the things that nobody wears.
Over the course of 3 decades, Tyler delivered ballads and heavy rock hits with ease. Despite his personal struggles, the singer persevered with an iconic slew of singles.
Sing with it, sing for the year, sing for laughter, sing for the tear.
The vocalist poured his heart out on Dream On, and over 20 years later, he blew the roof off with I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
I still miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing.
He even helped bridge the gap between rock and hip-hop with Run DMC.
Walk this way, talk this way, walk this way.
Along with guitarist Joe Perry, the singer masterminded one of the longest-running success stories in music history. Number 4. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne came on the scene as the lead singer of Black Sabbath. Together with his esteemed bandmates like Tony Iommi, he practically created heavy metal music. He crafted the template for a singer in that particular rock subgenre. Iron Man and Paranoid put him on the map as a frenetic artist with a gift for huge vocals.
Has he lost his mind? Can he see or is he blind?
After Sabbath, he excelled with his own solo records, and touring made him even more legendary. His creation of Ozfest and run-ins with bats put him in the pantheon of music icons.
On the scene of Beast of Pios, it was falling at his knee.
However, it was Black Sabbath where Osbourne first connected rock to the dark side. Number 3. Mick Jagger, The Rolling Stones.
When I'm driving in my car and a man comes on the radio.
The Rolling Stones could not have become one of the most prolific acts in history without an amazing performer center stage.
I can't get no satisfaction.
Not only was Mick Jagger one of the original bad boys of rock, but his performance style was legendary. His various dance moves inspired countless imitators and even a popular Maroon 5 song. With his writing partner and guitarist Keith Richards, Jagger created many rock and roll standards.
Made damn sure that Pilot washed his hands.
Their appreciation of old blues and R&B records saluted the past and set a high bar for recording artists. The singer's many decades on tour prove that age is just a number for this legend.
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name.
Number 2. Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin. Hard rock owed a massive debt to Robert Plant's achievements.
Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love.
His powerful voice put Led Zeppelin into an elite tier of influential musicians. In the early years of Plant's career, he helped create one of the best music outfits in history with vocal cords that could shatter glass. He was among the first frontmen to bring rock and roll to arenas and stadiums around the world. Few others could scream like he did on Immigrant Song and deliver a folk song like Going to California.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drank all my wine.
Plant pushed his voice to the extreme through the 70s. Fortunately, his efforts helped set the bar high for future generations.
Standing on a hill in the mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Freddie Mercury, Queen. There is no question that Queen was the product of a collaborative effort.
Mama, she's killed a man.
At the same time, it cannot be denied that singular Freddie Mercury took the band to a whole new level with his dynamic vocal range.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity.
And videos from iconic sets like Queen's legendary Live Aid performance proved he had an unparalleled relationship with the crowd.
All we hear, Radio Gaga, Radio Cuckoo.
He was everything a lead singer should and could be, and then some.
So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye?
Mercury's shining star burned bright as his operatic style progressed music further than anyone expected. While he was gone much too soon, the artist lived on through his own indelible stamp on rock music.
Plenty of ways that you can hurt a man and bring him to the ground. You can beat him, you can treat him bad and leave him where he died.
The best frontman in history was also the most entertaining, dynamic, and effortlessly talented. There will never be another Freddie Mercury. Who are your favorite frontmen in rock? Step forward in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.